How's it going, guys? It's his cousin, her cousin, your cousin Vinny coming at you. I'm a brand new field staff member for Serviceside. That's Deer Slayer TV. Anybody who doesn't know, you can always get the app on any smartphone. Serviceside app, it's great. You could go on there and see people talking about hunts, and nobody bashes anybody. That's what it's about, and I love it. I love that aspect of it 100%. But what am I here to talk to you about today? Bow hunting, right? Bow season for us. I'm out here in Western New York. Bow season for us starts on October 1st. So it's coming up really close here. So I just want to give you a couple tips and tricks. I'm not an expert by any means, but this is my passion, and I've loved doing it. I've done it for since I've been a kid. So I have a couple good tips for you here. So first of all, let me get my bow here. First thing I like to do is always make sure your release is attached to these bows, right? It's not a recurve. It's not a long bow. You need a release to shoot these compounds. I don't think you could really shoot them anymore with your fingers. You know, you used to be able to, but I don't think anymore. So I always attach it to my bow, because if I wake up in the morning, I could just grab my bow, throw my release on my wrist, and I never forget it, because there's nothing worse than getting up into the tree stand and all of a sudden your release is gone. Now you're screwed. Second, you know, if you're out of state or two, make sure it's attached. Don't just throw your bow in the case and throw your release somewhere else. Attach to your bow, because there's nothing worse than forgetting it. Second of all, I am a big advocate for the one shot a day. If you've never heard of this, this is something I've done for a long time. I wake up in the morning with my cup of coffee, get my bow, take one shot. I can't do it right now. I'm a little under the weather. Hopefully I get out for bow season, but we'll see. So what you do is you just take your one shot a day and you leave it. That was your deer for today, wherever you hit that target. Think, you know, it gets you into the habit of shooting, making that one shot count. And that's what really counts. Is up in the tree stand, you need that one shot to count, because you're not going to, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get a second shot with the bow. Not to say that it doesn't happen, but 9 times out of 10, it probably won't happen. So I use this Reinhardt field ball right here. It's actually one of my favorite targets to use, because it has a flat spot on the bottom. I get up in my tree stand, throw it out there, lands, and perfect every time. You always got a spot to shoot at. And that's another thing too. If you want to practice, get up in your tree stand and practice, because that shot is a lot different than shooting 20 yards straight at a target. Get up and shoot 20 yards up in your tree stand and see where you're hitting. It's a little bit different, and it'll definitely help you. But the one shot a day thing, I suggest everybody to at least try their best. Keeps everybody fluent throughout the season. So once the time comes, for me, October 1st, once that comes out, I'm always ready. Obviously, right now I can't do the one shot a day, but we're gonna try. And then third of all, I mean, there's so many tips and tricks that I would love to give you, but I just don't have the time of the day to sit here and talk to you. I could talk to you guys for an hour. But third of all, when I'm talking about arrows, and I get my broadheads cut. See, I don't cut my own arrows, and I should, but you know, I don't have time. I have 2 kids. I have a full-time job. It is what it is, right? I know a lot of you guys are the same way. When I get my arrows cut, I tell them not to put the inserts in, and for the reason of that is I shoot the Muzzy Fix blades, and I've never had a problem with the Muzzy Fix blades. Obviously, they're cut on contact, but what I do is I make sure that the inserts, I put them in myself, so that I can line the blades to the fletchings. I want that top cock feather fletching to be up. I want the blade to be up. So I want that arrow to fly without any imperfections at that deer. And then last of all, I'd say, it doesn't matter what broadhead you're using, but please use a good broadhead. If you're sitting there and you're shooting that broadhead into the target over and over, you have to realize that it's going to dull. And we owe it to any animals that we're shooting, whether that be small game, big game, it doesn't matter. We owe it to the animal to at least have the best equipment shooting at that animal, right? It's not a gun. We're using cutting force in our arrow to pass through. It should pass through, right? Not to say it always does, because it doesn't, right? You know, I mean, if you have put a bad shot, you hit a shoulder deer, I've done it. I know most people have done it, right? It won't pass through. But why not give the animal the benefit of the doubt with the best broadhead you could use? Honestly, these are a couple tips and tricks that I've picked up over the years. Nothing crazy, but you know what? Some people might sit there and say, oh, that's a great idea. and hopefully that a couple of these videos I can put out here, you guys could do the same thing. And hopefully everybody has some great success this year. I hope to see everybody has some good videos. Hopefully I can get out there, and if I do, I will have some good videos for you, I promise. And again, it's his cousin, her cousin, your cousin Vinny, Serviceside, Deer Slayer TV, Western New York, coming at you. We'll see you guys later. Peace.